All right, so just recently we hit a pretty big milestone. We have just sent over 4 million cold emails at our agency, Infinite Bookings. So we've generated, as a result of that, over 2,000 B2B sales calls, millions in revenue for clients, and all within the span of 3 years. So here is what I wish I knew all the way back at the beginning, 3 years ago when I was a bit younger. And I wish I knew it because I would have made much more money, much more results. But at least now you guys get to learn it for a lot quicker. So let's get into it. By the way, if you think anyone else could benefit from watching these 8 tips, share it with them, send them the link, and I'm sure they'll appreciate it and I'll appreciate it as well. So let's get right into it. Number one, personalization will not save a bad offer. Adding personalization to a bad offer is like adding lipstick to a pig, right? The fundamental problem is, let's say you're trying to add personalization, it's usually a cop out or a coping mechanism for having a bad cold traffic friendly offer or not friendly offer. So people just don't want what you want, so you try to package it in a better way, right? But the true problem, the real fundamental issue, is that people just don't want what you have, and what you have is bad. So fix the fact that your thing is bad first, and then you won't even need personalization because people are just interested in your product, right? So that's the first thing. Number two, speed to lead is everything. Now, I see a lot of people, I get on a lot of calls, and it's crazy to me that a lot of people will work so hard, invest thousands of dollars, months of time and effort and energy, and they get as many leads as possible. But once they actually get the leads, they're like, oh, I'll respond to them in a few hours or the next day. They just completely neglect the fact that these people are interested in their service, and they're like, oh, I'll just let them cool off a bit, right? Or they just don't really focus on it. You need to be getting back to people within 5 minutes max, right? Even quicker if possible, right? Because hot leads are engaged leads. Hot leads buy quicker. Hot leads sign deals quicker, right? They book calls. It's more certain, right? You get your cash back quicker. So speed to lead is everything. Get back to people within 5 minutes to their cold emails. You could use a lot of different AI systems to do that. For example, we use RevReply. Number three, manual first, then automate. So how are you able to know what a good cold email looks like if you haven't even written one ever manually, right? And let alone written 100, written 1,000, right? That's why I always say, if you're working with a new offer or you're just starting out, manual first, then automate, because you don't even know what a good cold email looks like. So why are you trying to automate it, right? You need to understand what the fundamentals of a good cold email are: relevancy, directness, good offer, good cold traffic friendly offer, right? And then you can automate it, right? Then you can scale. If you're not going to do that, you're just going to spam more people quicker, right? So that's that. Number four, understand your ICP on a granular level that it almost feels weird, right? So you need to, like, you're selling to these people. You need to understand their every pain, every desire related to your offer, of course, so that you're able to show them the best way to get to their desire. So the more that you're able to understand the people's problems and pains, the more likely they are to follow your solution in order to solve those pains, right? So that's the main thing. You need to completely understand your ICP. And this is something that AI has gone a lot better at with helping you. But you really need to understand what these people really want, right? So that's step four. Step five, more volume only helps if you already have traction. So if you, kind of going back on the previous one, if you are sending emails and it takes you 10,000 emails to book a single call and that call is still unqualified, right? It's not a matter of sending 100,000 emails or a million emails. It's a matter of changing either what the emails are saying, who they're being sent to, maybe you have a spam issue. There's a different issue other than volume, right? So in that case, you don't want to just increase volume and be like, okay, I'll just send 10 times more volume. There's a different issue that's causing the biggest bottleneck. So you have to solve the bigger bottleneck first, right? Step six, your cold email system is like the links of a chain, right? And what that means is that every single part of the process, so data management, lead management, deliverability, infrastructure, content of the email. These are all things that you have to take into account individually for it to work as a part of a greater system. So let's say every single step of the process is at 80%, right? Your system is only 80% optimized. But let's say every part of the system is at 80%, but lead management is at 50%, right? Optimization. That means that lead management is the bottleneck and you need to fix that. At the moment, the whole system is coming down to that 50% level because of the lead management bottleneck, right? So every single step of the process has its own individual impact on the entire system. And if your whole entire system is limited, then that limits the amount of results that you can get from it, right? So that's step 6. Number 7, the shorter the email, the better. The more specific the email, the better. So if you take a look at any of the best performing scripts of anyone else, of us, probably of your own as well, the shorter the email, the better, right? And the reason for this is because people are busy. People don't really want to respond to cold emails. The best ones are the ones that get in, get out, and simply make their offer, right? Nobody's reading paragraphs. Nobody's reading a textbook of an email, right? They can tell it's a spam email and that they're just trying to be sold something. But if you come in with the aspect of trying to help these people and be very specific and make sure that they understand that you know their situation, their pains and desires, that's going to make the results so much better. And the 8th one, which is a very important one that took me a long time to realize, is the best data is your data, right? So if your campaigns are working, right, and they're getting calls and you have a positive ROI on your system and you're happy with it, continue to run it, right? No matter what someone else says, if your system is generating great results, don't look at what other people are saying, right? Continue to scale your system. And the best data for you to make optimization for your system is your data, not the data of some other guru or of some other agency owner, right? Obviously take advice from other people, but don't just blindly implement it, right? You have to actually understand what is driving results in your system so that you can replicate that over and over and over, right? So hopefully that makes sense. My goal with this channel is to really make the highest quality, most relevant B2B lead generation content. So if you found this video useful, send it to a friend who might need help with this. I don't really promote this channel, so the only way it grows is through word of mouth, which I think is great, because if it's good, it's good. If it's bad, nobody sees it. But if you're looking for someone to install a system that follows all of these principles, has a lot of data behind it, book a call below and with me, and we'll see how we can work together. We believe that businesses should own their marketing and not just rent an agency retainer that's charging them $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000, $10,000 a month. So instead of just charging you a monthly management fee or paying us per lead, we build, scale, and optimize a custom outbound system for your company within 90 days and get it to a point where it's generating the type of leads you want at the rate that you want, all for a one-time investment. So if you're interested in that, click the link below to schedule a meeting with me. Either way, I hope you gained some sort of value, some sort of insights from this video. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.